Welcome to Historical Highway, where we journey through the sands of time to unearth the most fascinating stories from history. Today, we're exploring the enigmatic figure of Seth, a god who stands out in the pantheon of ancient Egyptian deities. If you're intrigued by the myths and legends of ancient times, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more historical deep dives. Seth, often known as Set, is one of the most complex and controversial gods in ancient Egyptian mythology. Historically, he has been associated with a mix of powerful, often contradictory forces, from chaos, storms, and deserts, to change and the unknown. His role was crucial in the Egyptian understanding of balance and disorder in the universe. In mythology, Seth is typically depicted as a figure with a human body and the head of a mysterious creature, the Seth animal. This creature, with a curved snout, squared ears, and a canine body with a forked tail, sets him apart from other deities who are usually depicted with more recognizable animal heads. This unique appearance symbolizes Seth's connection to the unknown and chaotic aspects of the world. Seth's domains included not only chaos and storms, but also change, and despite his associations with destruction, he was also seen as a protective deity. For example, Seth was honored for his role in protecting the sun god Ra during his nightly journey through the underworld. Seth fought off the serpent Apophis, which represented chaos and destruction. This protective aspect made him a complex deity, both feared and revered. Cultural shifts significantly affected Seth's reputation over the history of Egypt. In earlier periods, he was respected and had several cult centers dedicated to him. However, his image transformed negatively after the Hyksos, foreign rulers linked to the Levant who took over parts of Egypt during the Second Intermediate Period, adopted him as their main deity. This association led to a decline in his stature once the Hyksos were expelled. During the New Kingdom, particularly in the Ramesside period, Seth was often demonized due to his role in the murder of Osiris, depicted as the embodiment of evil. Today, scholars and enthusiasts of Egyptian mythology recognize Seth as a multi-dimensional figure. His characteristics encapsulate the complexity of human emotions and societal values. His dual nature reflects the ancient Egyptians' understanding of the necessity of balance between opposing forces, mirroring the duality found in nature and human society. Seth is also a prominent figure in the family of gods. He is part of the Ennead of Heliopolis, a family of 9 deities descended from the creator god Adam. His parents are Geb, the god of the earth, and Nut, the goddess of the sky. Seth's siblings include Osiris, Isis, and Nephthys. In some myths, Seth is married to his sister, Nephthys. Seth's most infamous myth is his rivalry with his brother, Osiris. Jealous of Osiris's position as king of Egypt, Seth murders him, dismembers his body, and scatters the pieces across Egypt. Isis, Osiris's wife and sister, reassembles Osiris's body and revives him long enough to conceive their son, Horus. This sets the stage for another major mythological narrative, the conflict between Horus and Seth. The battle between Horus and Seth is a central theme in Egyptian mythology, symbolizing the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Horus eventually defeats Seth, becoming the new ruler of Egypt, which reaffirms the rightful order. Despite his negative aspects, Seth was also worshipped as a protector of the sun god Ra. Every night, Ra's solar bark was attacked by the serpent Apophis, and Seth was believed to defend the solar deity during these nightly journeys. Thus, Seth's role was not entirely malevolent. He was crucial in maintaining the cosmic balance. Seth's worship was prominent in certain regions, notably in the city of Ombos in Upper Egypt, where he was venerated as a chief deity. Worship at these sites often included offerings, feasts, and possibly ritual dramas depicting key myths involving Seth, such as his battles with Horus. Seth's image underwent significant changes during the Second Intermediate Period, particularly with the rise of the Hyksos, who identified Seth with their own storm god, Baal, and elevated his status. This association helped maintain Seth's prominence during their reign. However, after the Hyksos were expelled and native Egyptian rule was restored during the New Kingdom, the perception of Seth began to change dramatically. His previous associations with foreign rulers and chaos made him a less favorable deity among the Egyptians. Over time, Seth became increasingly demonized in popular and religious narratives, depicted as the embodiment of evil and chaos. This shift mirrored the changing political landscapes and religious sentiments of the time. However, small pockets of worship persisted, particularly among certain groups who continued to see him as a powerful protector. Seth's influence extended beyond his own narratives, intertwining with the stories of other gods and shaping the cosmology of ancient Egypt. His integration with other deities is evident in his complex relationships within the divine family. Beyond his direct family, Seth was occasionally linked with Horus in a unique and paradoxical partnership. In some texts, they are shown as adversaries, yet in others, they unite as co-rulers, embodying the duality of chaos and order. This dual rulership is a profound reflection of the Egyptian belief in the balance of opposing forces. One of the most detailed explorations of Seth's myths is his central role in the Osiris myth, which is more intricate than the broad outlines suggest. Seth's jealousy and subsequent murder of Osiris are well known, but the aftermath of this act involves a series of cunning plots and divine judgments. The legal battles between Horus and Seth were not merely physical conflicts but also involved legal arguments over the throne of Egypt. These trials, held before a panel of gods, highlight Seth's cunning and rhetorical skill as he presents his case. In terms of worship rituals, Seth was honored with various ceremonies that could be both grand and ominous. In the city of Ombos, now known as Nakada, Seth's temple was a center of major religious activities. The rituals here likely included dramatic reenactments of his battles, offerings of red-colored foods and beverages as symbols of the desert and chaos, and the use of loud clashing cymbals and drums to mimic thunderstorms, a domain of Seth. During the festival known as the Feast of Seth, people engaged in nighttime ceremonies to reflect his association with the darkness and the unknown. Another significant aspect of Seth's worship was the hunting of the hippopotamus ritual. This ceremony symbolized Seth's battle against chaos, as the hippopotamus was often a stand-in for Apophis, the chaos serpent. Priests and worshippers would enact the hunting and symbolic slaying of the hippopotamus, reasserting the triumph of order over chaos, a direct parallel to Seth's nightly defense of Ra's solar bark. In addition to these specific rituals, Seth was also integrated into daily religious practice. Amulets and talismans depicting the Seth animal were common, believed to protect the wearer from storms and chaos, reflecting his protective aspects. These items were especially popular among soldiers and travelers, who viewed Seth as a patron of those facing the unknown and the dangerous. As the political climate shifted, especially after the fall of the Hyksos, the demonization of Seth led to the defacing of his images and the rededication of his temples to other gods. However, in certain esoteric and scholarly circles, Seth's deeper attributes continued to be studied. These groups explored his connection to the stars and his role in the celestial journey of the sun god, seeing him not just as a god of chaos, but as a necessary force that challenged the complacency of the gods and humans alike, fostering growth and change. In summary, Seth's story is a rich tapestry that illustrates the complexities of Egyptian religion and mythology. His journey from revered protector to a demonized figure, and his occasional resurgence in popular and scholarly thought, showcases the dynamic nature of how deities were perceived in ancient times. This multifaceted nature of Seth ensures that his stories and significance will continue to fascinate and provoke thought as we explore the ancient mysteries on this channel. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the sands of time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating historical explorations. See you on the next adventure on Historical Highway.